professional at BNJA Financial Insurance and Financial Services. My name is Christy Massack. I'm Director of Member Services, and we are pleased to have Martin and his sidekick, Victoria, join us today and give us all the information that we need. So before we get started, you can stay muted or not, but you'll be able to answer questions throughout the presentation. Just to remind you that it will be recorded and we will post it on our website in the coming days. So keep that in mind. If you have questions, you can either put them in the chat or you can unmute yourself and raise your hand, and we will make sure that Martin can answer your questions for you. I think that is it. And for now, at this point, we will introduce Martin. So Martin, you can take it away.
Thank you so much, Christy. Appreciate it. So thank you, everyone, for taking the time out of your day to attend this presentation. My name is Martin Aiello. I'm with BNJA Insurance and Financial Services. We're here local in Livermore. We are a member of the Livermore Chamber and thankful for all the work that they do. And not only that, just hosting this event and trying to inform people and let them know kind of what's available to them. I have 24 years in the financial services, working the entire country, and with it I happen to be local here, married with 5 kids, 24 to 31, 4 daughters and 1 son. One of the daughters has gone through school, got her business degree and economics degree, and it's Victoria here that's joining us. She's been with our firm for 2 years now, and with it a financial professional and has her license as well. So thank you for attending and being a part of it. So with that, let's just dive into the topic at hand, and it's referred to as the ERC, or Employee Retention Credit Program. It's done through the federal government, and with it, it's a rebate on taxes that you've already paid on your FICA. And so it is up to a maximum of $14,000 or $26,000 is based on your business structure, and there's different filings, but we'll just roll with $14,000 for the moment. And so with it, it's for those businesses that were affected by COVID and how it impacted your business. And it's part of the CARES Act 2.0, and you're familiar with the PPP loan. That was also part of the CARES Act. And so this ERC, Employee Retention Credit, is totally separate and different. And part of it is that the PPP loan, you had to qualify, and as you qualify, they gave you a loan. And then there was a process that you had to go through, and potentially that loan was forgiven or not. And the difference on the ERC program, what's nice about it is it's not a loan. It's not a loan at all. It's a rebate, tax-free, and said the word tax-free rebate to you as a business, okay, on the FICA taxes that you paid. And what they do is they benchmark it to the 2019. And right now we're working on 2020 and 2021 tax returns. And so at that given point, what they do is they say here in 1, you go through a qualifying process 2. And as you have that qualifying process, we actually help you with that. We help you with that. You know, our goal is to be, if you want to say, a force for good. We're not getting paid on this. What we're doing is we're just trying to educate and inform and make people aware that this is out there for you. And so with that being said, the process would be that we would get on the schedule. We have an ERC specialist that knows this law inside and out, asks a series of questions on how you were affected during those years. And, you know, if you got the PPP, then there's a higher probability that you'll qualify for the ERC as well, so that's a good thing. And so with that being said, it's a 20-minute phone call. We schedule it. I have either myself or Victoria will have the ERC specialists calendar. We'll have you on the phone for just 3 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever. be the case. And at that point, we'll schedule it and have a calendar invite go out to you, to the ERC specialist accounting firm, and to us. We will be on that first phone call. Okay. So as we are on that call, we introduce, we listen in, and at the end of that phone call, that ERC specialist will say, yes, you qualify, or no, you don't. If you qualify, and, we've had, I don't know, about probably a 98 to 99% approval rate that they qualify. And so with that, it's a 20-minute phone call. We're on there with you. And after that call, as you qualify, then you'll go to the second round. And the second round is an hour phone call. We're not on that call. You're on a call with, again, the same accounting firm, but now, the next level. And as you're on that phone call with them, they just peel back the onion, a little more detailed, specific about, okay, so what happened, during 2020, 21, they'll ask specific questions. And at the end of that, they'll go ahead and send you 2 emails. First, the second email is really the most important one, in that it will tell you exactly what you need to do as a business owner, or have your team do, or accounting at your business do. And basically you upload your 941s, your tax returns for 2020 and 21. And that's it. Okay. And so what's nice, there's different ways to qualify. So you have 3 different ways in which you qualify. Okay. So the first one is really net at a revenue standpoint. Were your revenues down in 2020 and 2021 versus 2019, the benchmark, right? So that's the first way that you qualify. And you only need to qualify one, just so you know. Second one would be in a supply chain disruption. So I'm going to use an example of, supply getting goods, right? If you're, a contractor and you couldn't get wood or materials to do what you need to do. If you're a restaurant and you couldn't get the to-go boxes and napkins or plates or things, things like that, that there was a supply chain disruption. Okay. And then the third one would be that there was a government shutdown or delay, okay, and that, slow down in your operations, changing the way you do operations. An example of that would be the capacity, right? At a point, you could only have so much capacity in your business. And so that's one that you would qualify under. Another one would be the restaurants, very vivid, right? When you see all the restaurants, now they've set up outside eating areas to where, okay, but then that's also limited capacity, right? So they would set that up for you just so that you could maintain business and keep your business moving and being afloat and generating income. Those are all examples, okay? And guess what? All you need is one to qualify, okay? So I'll share with you that, we have clients throughout the country, particular client in Hawaii. Guy was the gentleman's name. He's our client. And so it's like, hey, I was speaking with him and just doing a review, checking in, seeing how he's doing in his business and his people, his employees. And so he said, hey, I said, what about this ERC? I said, we really have a great group, accounting firm that, and I'll describe what's going on with them and why we're in particular working with them. But he said, no, but my accountant CPA said I didn't qualify. I said, really, Guy? I said, you know what? Entertain me, okay? Let's just invest 20 minutes of your time and my time. Get on the phone with the ERC specialist, okay? And at that point, let's let them say, yes, you qualify or you don't. They are the experts. When I need my car worked on, I go to the mechanic. When I want to get a health checkup, I go to the doctor. Right? They are the specialists for this ERC program. Not only do we have just specialists, but even more than we have the A team. 2 of the people at this accounting firm came from the IRS. Okay, they used to work at the IRS and now they're employees of this accounting firm. Another person is an attorney, and he's actually the attorney that wrote the legislation for the government. So if you want to say, I have the team of professionals, I don't want to know about it. I want to know just enough to share with you that, hey, you know what? There's a good program out of here. You can benefit from it as a company, as business owners, and it can mean thousands and thousands of dollars to you. That's my goal. Then I know when to keep my mouth shut. I'll let the specialists talk about that. Okay, so Guy entertained me. He got on the phone with me and he said, I said, thank you for being here and what have you. And we have a one point of contact. David is his name. And it's like, David, meet Guy, Guy, meet David. We're here to talk about the ERC program, and it's part of the CARES Act. And David will explain it all. David, please, can you take it from here? And he does. He keeps it within that 20 minutes. One thing I don't like is when we start something like, oh yeah, it'll be 20 minutes. And then 45 minutes later, and you knew that in advance, 45 minutes later, now it's getting frustrating for everyone. We want to keep it on time. And so we're very conscientious of that. You either qualify or you don't. At the end of that phone call, David will say, yes, you qualify and under these particular categories. When we were speaking with Guy, he said, Guy, good news, you qualify. And he's like, what? My CPA said, that I didn't. And so CPAs, oftentimes what they'll do is they'll just take the revenue, right? Hey, was there a loss in revenue? Oh, there wasn't, so you don't qualify. They're just not experts in this area, and it's not their fault. They can't do everything. They're trying to manage your books and taxes. That's their expertise in their lane. I don't want to sit here and work with folks that way. I just want to sit here and be able to get them introduced to the professional, let them do their job. And so happy and thankful to say that, yes, Guy is very pleased. And we've been, working with a lot of, chamber members, trying to reach out proactively, just sharing this with them. And so this is not a revenue generating activity for us. It's our force for being good, trying to help people right where they're at. And if we could sit here and bring, thousands of dollars to your business, then fantastic. There was a small business with just 3 employees right here in Livermore. We were on the phone with them and we said, hey, we'd like to schedule this call. Oh, okay. Yeah. I heard about that, but was kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll take the call. And so we scheduled an appointment with David. As we did, they ended up getting, it was a smaller one, $24,000, tax-free. Okay. And so with it, I said, so that 20-minute phone call, you got 24 grand. That's not bad, huh? And they were pleased, right? And so with it, after the phone call, the second phone call after the qualifying event, and that they say, yes, you do qualify for this program. With it, they'll go ahead and they'll do the filing itself. It takes roughly 10 business days or 2 weeks for the ERC specialist to file. So they file the documents along with your 941s that you sent them. As they file that, it goes directly to the IRS. The IRS will sit here and process it. Now, the IRS, we know that sometimes they work fast, sometimes they work slow, and they work a little differently. So with it, it ranges anywhere between 6 weeks to roughly, 10 or 12 weeks for them to get the reimbursement back. But know that after that second phone call and they submit it, the ERC group, they'll know exactly the dollar amount specifically. They'll have a range of approximately what you'll get, but they'll know specifically on how much you'll get after that second phone call and what they're requesting. So after it's processed, checks come. We like checks, right? The checks come and they go to either an escrow account, third-party escrow account, kind of like when you're purchasing a property, right? It goes to an escrow account and then they'll divvy up the funds. or it'll go into the business bank account or the accounting firm's bank account. So they're not consistent. The IRS, oftentimes isn't, right? Not to throw a dart, but they're not. But so with that, based on who processes it is kind of the channel that it goes. But at that point, when the checks come in, you'll receive 85% of whatever the refund is. And the ERC specialist group, they get 15. So it's an 85-15 split. And, with it, it's very simple. You invested an hour and 30 minutes, let's say, because you had to upload your 941s, right? And an hour and 30 minutes. Now focus on your business that's revenue generating, not these filings and all that, right? It's worth it to me, in particular, my opinion, the 15%. Because I'm getting 85% of something rather than 100% of nothing. I'm not having somebody that's not a specialist in this area, in this part of the law and legislation, to sit here and say, make just an opinion of saying you don't qualify, where you just may. So it's highly recommended. Everybody should sit here and evaluate this. There's a couple knockout areas where I'll explain. If you're using a PEO, employee leasing company, for your employees, okay, during that time, they're legally not contractually your employees. You're leasing them out, right? You're using that leasing company, so you won't qualify, okay? Another one is that if the business is 100% funded by the government, then you wouldn't qualify. Or if you're a government entity, okay, you wouldn't qualify. Business owners and their families do not qualify. So if you had, 20 employees and, there were 4 family members, the 16 will qualify, but the 4 would not be part of that equation or that formula, mathematical formula of deciding what you receive and what you don't. Okay. Good news. This is for profit and nonprofit. Okay. Know that the chamber received their ERC funds. They qualified and they received it. So thankful for that. We have a client that's up in Seattle market, and with it, it's a church, and there's 50 employees. They have multiple locations, and this church, they have 50 employees. They're subject to receiving $700,000 tax-free, unreportable tax-free. It's beautiful. So really happy, really thankful for them. If it's 1 to 500 employee, they're going to ask employee count and what have you, because there's different filings for different employee count. When we set up the first initial meeting with David, we'll get that information from you, because it's that 3 to 5 minute phone call with you, getting information, putting you on the calendar, and then now you're locked, sealed, and loaded for the call. 20 minutes, we'll figure it out. Good candidates. I wanted to share good candidates, any business, right? That's profit or nonprofit. Restaurants are very good. Healthcare industry is really good. Like I said, profit, nonprofit. Construction companies, very good. Supply and food chain companies, warehouses, professionals, doctors, they had to do things differently, right? And then they couldn't get masks or gloves, and there was a supply chain disruption. Not only that, they can only let so many people in their waiting rooms. So those are all good candidates for this program. With that being said, that is the overall scope of the Employee Retention Credit program. And, we're here, like I said, to be a force for good, to help people. You don't know what you don't know. This is an area that we came across with the accounting firm and said, okay, no, we want to definitely dive into this deep, because it's good for business. It's good for people, right? you have family members, friends, people you care about, you love, or you have that relationship, right? Because we're very much a relationship firm. We really, truly build our business and live on relationships. So if you have those relationships with business owners, please take my contact information down in the chat. We'll be putting that in there now. If it's not, there you go. Put your, put them in a good place to where invest 20 minutes. Let's see if we can get thousands of dollars. One of our clients that I'll close with, and then open it up for questions. One of our clients has 100 employees, and they did get the PPP, and so that's again part of that formula, and they back it down a little bit. But with it, they're in the process right now of receiving $1 million. $1 million tax-free. And my thing is, hey, let's put these assets to good. Let's sit here and help, whether it be, you and get your emergency fund, for your business. Let's have a portion that go for that. Let's sit here and maybe enhance some benefits, for your people, for yourself and for your people, because we do a lot of, different things, and I'll share in a minute about how we work as a firm. But, invest that money back, because as you invest in your people, as now it's a force that will just be a snowball that your business will just continue to prosper from. If you have good, steady, healthy employees, and they know that you care about them, they'll do anything for you. I mean, it's our business, not your business. Right? It's our business. And that's what every business owner wants to try to create, that environment. So, but it's not a payback. It's tax-free. It goes to you, and you're in the driver's seat. You sit here and you decide what you want to do with that money. So I think I hit on all cylinders. Victoria, anything? Okay. Please, you want to open it up for questions there, Christy, please?
Absolutely. Anybody have questions? Now's the time. I have a couple of questions, but I'll wait and see if anybody has anything.
Okay.
You can put it in the chat, or you can ask Martin live if you unmute. I'm going to go ahead, since we don't have anybody right now, I'm going to go ahead and ask some things. Martin, is there a deadline that is there some point that this money will not be available and they can't qualify? I mean, there has to be.
Yeah, the answer is, I'm sure there is. Right now it's open. The government is talking about going to 2023 as well. So there's talk about that right now. But, my thing is strike while the iron's hot, invest that 20 minutes and, let's see. Especially because it doesn't take a lot of time or a lot of administration on a business owner's part. We respect their time, and we want to be able to get them in as quickly as possible. So exactly. I don't mean to be vague, but the government's just not there yet. They said more likely they'll probably extend this to 23. Okay.
Well, it looks like a win-win. I mean, any profit or nonprofit business can apply for this. And if they've applied for the PPP before or have received the PPP before, then that's even a better chance, sounds like. And then one question before we get to Crystal's question: if they qualify in that 1 hour conversation, right? If they qualify, does that necessarily mean they're going to get it, or it's just they qualify for now, but then they once they provide their tax information, et cetera, then there's still that the deciding factor still is not confirmed. They qualify, but right?
Well, I'm going to answer it like this, and again, not to avoid it. At the end of the 20-minute phone call, right? They'll tell you, yes, you qualify.
Okay.
They know right then. And think about it. Now they're spending their time on the next hour phone call and then done. It's not, oh, okay, there's 3 more after that. It's 20 minutes. Yes, you qualify. An hour getting the specific details and the 941s, and then they file. They're spending the time up front and their person power, okay, not manpower, but person power, and resources to sit here and file this. It's not like you're working with an accountant or CPA and they're charging you by the hour right up front, right? Because now their time is getting paid, they're getting paid. With this particular group, they are not going to take you forward if you don't qualify. They're putting it out there, their resources, their time, their expense, and then they're waiting to get paid. And I like that approach.
Okay.
If there's nothing, I mean, I haven't had anyone not receive what they say they're going to receive.
Right. So then this is win-win. Every business should be taking advantage of this. And so Crystal's question is, which I think we've answered it. Do we just call or email you, Martin, if we are interested in starting the process? That first phone call is with you, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. And they can call the number in the chat and set that up, right? Schedule that. Correct.
My cell is there, and the email is maiello@bnja.co. It's not a typo, okay? So we like to be a little unique, a little different, so it's .co. Wanted, because if it goes to .com, it doesn't bounce back to you, but I don't receive it. So please feel free to either email or call me on my cell. I welcome that call because, again, we're here to just be a force for good and try to help people. Okay.
Excellent.
Any other questions? You're welcome, Crystal. Let me share. May I share my screen for a moment?
Yes.
I want to share here. Okay. Okay, so this here is something that I have in that I produced, Victoria and I produced, and it's basically just trying to give an outline of this program. And so as you see, up to $14,000 per employee, tax years are there. It's based on 2019. Here's the 3 ways that you qualify, the process, and then, not eligible, if that, is applicable, and then company size, they file differently. And then the particular industries that it works very well. And so, and down here on the bottom, I don't know why it's cut off, but it says 2 employees from the IRS, and then the attorney, that is on staff that's employed by the accounting firm that actually wrote the legislation. The other thing I wanted to share, and I don't know if I can email this out or post it on the site, on the chamber site, but here's just a little bit of information about myself. Okay. It's kind of like a business resume, just getting to know you. Focus in on one client at a time. That's what we do. Do things with the right mind, right heart, with others' interests involved. And guess what? Things flourish. Okay. I am securities licensed and insurance licensed both. So I have a different, if you want to say, order of compliance. So I have compliance of compliance. My broker dealer, they have a compliance that oversee what I do. And then I have the Department of Labor, the Securities Exchange, FINRA, and then I also have the insurance commissioner on the insurance side. And so we basically, are overseeing and making sure that we're doing things with the right intentions and best interests in mind. So here's a little bit just of my qualifications. And then last thing I'll share is this is on our firm. And I think some of these are in the chamber, in the chamber office, but it talks about just our process. We don't sell product, we sell a process. We have over 50 years of experience within myself. I have 24, my partner Brian has 24, and my other partner Victoria here has 2. And so we have over 50 years experience, and this is how we help people, help you create wealth and build wealth in different, especially in turbulent markets like this. And this kind of outlines our process, but these are in the chamber. And if you would like one of those, I could actually email this to you too. So please just email me and start a conversation. And if we're, if we can help you, then great. Our clients don't write us checks whatsoever. We get paid from either the financial institution or from the insurance company, and we're independent, so we could work with anyone. Like Fidelity, Oppenheimer, PIMCO, Invesco, so do we at certain asset, places, and they're not all best in all asset categories, but there is a top one. And so we work with the top ones and we do the analytics behind it. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Please, there's several people on the call. Please call us and email us. Let's see if we can't get to, a tax rebate, tax-free rebate, should I say. And thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thanks, Martin. Okay, anybody, one last call for questions, and then we will close out this webinar here. Awesome. So thank you
Bless
again,
you.
Martin.
Thank you. Lynn just said, emailed you already. Thank you so much. Bless you. Appreciate it.
Perfect.
Looking forward to having a conversation with each of you. Have a blessed day. Okay.
Thank you so much. So thank you for presenting. Remember, everybody, that we will be sending out a survey. We're going to send this out right away today. So please let us know what you thought, any ideas moving forward. Martin will get your information, and he will be able to email the documents that he showed just a minute ago. He'll be able to send that out for you, to you. If you liked this presentation, be sure to give a rating on Google My Business for the chamber and for BNJA, and also be sure to tag the chamber at Livermore Chamber. And with that, everybody have a great day. And again, thanks for joining, and thank you, Martin and Victoria, for presentation.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Christy. Thanks.
Bye-bye.